Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on our Cool FM Live Cochise County Sports Show, presented by Synergy HomeCare. Dave Davies behind the camera momentarily. We do have Coach Dennis Baker also behind the camera momentarily. Before we get into the action, we always say this is brought to you by Synergy HomeCare Sierra Vista. And sitting with me is Synergy HomeCare of Sierra Vista. Vice President and co-owner Kelly Hyman, Office Manager Barbie Knight, and we're here to talk momentarily about the services that they provide. We say it all the time, Kelly, it's non-medical home care for people that struggle with activities of daily living. So is this something that is offered through Arizona to get costs paid for?
Yeah, absolutely. There are a number of different ways that people can get home care services paid for. Veterans are well taken care of by the VA, so they often provide home care hours. There are a number of different insurance plans, especially through Medicaid, that do pay for it. And then, of course, long-term care policies and private care. So there are quite a few options.
Awesome. And so we talked about some people that struggle with activities of daily living. Give us a few examples of what that would be.
Sure. So we have some people who struggle even to get out of bed on their own in the morning, to get dressed, shower, have breakfast, prepare that sort of thing. So we have people like that. Then we also have people who just need, companionship. They want someone maybe to take them shopping or prepare meals. So there are a lot of transportation. So there are a lot of different things that we can help.
Guerrilla style, folks, as we get everything sorted here one more time. It never goes the way you want it to. Now, Synergy Home Care is the fastest growing Synergy of all time. Is that what it is?
I have to run that one by you. Yeah, absolutely. We are growing quickly just because we are kind of all over Cochise County, and because we take a lot of the different insurances, and because we're willing to go wherever people need.
And Barbie, you're the office manager. Nice to see you, looking great, by the way.
Thank you. No bias. It's not biased at all.
So in terms of the staffing, so we said Synergy is the fast growing, I think we're like 33rd in all of Synergy's, and that means we have a pretty big staff. How big is the staff, and what is the caregiving process like in terms of getting hired?
Yeah, so I think we have over 80 caregivers right now. The fastest way to get hired is to apply on Indeed, and then we'll reach out to you and schedule an interview. And
what places really need help right now? What areas are we really hiring for?
Busy and Sierra Vista. We could always use folks in Benson, and we do have a couple of clients in Rockwell and Douglas as well.
Benson's a big hotbed for sure.
Yeah.
So, in terms of reviews, 5-star reviews, and so the process, one thing that's different from everyone else is we have W-2 employees. So they're beholden to the standards and structures, licensed, bonded, and insured. So if you need any care at all for your loved one, your mother, your father that may not be able to get themselves ready in the morning or anything like that, call Synergy Home Care. Probably what I would say the most trusted source of home care in Cochise County. So thank you, Barbie. Thank you, Kelly, for coming on. Of course. And with that, folks, we already did our Synergy ad read. Now, basically, we're going to bring in the big guy, Dave Davies, half of our namesake show.
Oh, it's comfy chair.
You know what's great? You know what's better about it, Dave? It's not 39 degrees in here.
Yeah, we decided to move it inside by the fireplace. A little chilly out there today, but as you mentioned,
They don't have the fireplace on. What's going on?
no, I'm okay though. It's not 45 degrees, but we're still at beautiful Sierra Vista Golf Center at Pueblo Del Sol. They have specials going all the time over here. First responder specials, military specials. They have once a week you can come down here and get free lessons for your children. Come down to Sierra Vista Golf Center at Pueblo Del Sol. Dinner specials, all the things. It's just getting fabulous around here. This is also brought to you by Texas Roadhouse. Roadhouse. Mention that you watched this show today. Joseph Coronado, I see you in the chat. Mention that you watched this show today. You get free fried pickles and potatoes, kids. Go to Texas Roadhouse. I'm there all week long. Come on in to see us. We have kids night on Mondays. You get free kids meals if you bring the kids in. We're having a blast every day at Texas Roadhouse. But like you said, we have a special guest today. again, the best guest. That's going to be Coach Dennis Baker of the Buena Golf.
Coach Baker.
All right, good to see you guys.
Good to see you again, brother. Hope you're feeling better.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, wow, how about that? Make sure everyone that we talk loudly. Sorry, we'll get the mics fixed eventually. We'll figure all that out. But here we are with Coach Dennis Baker. The Buena Colts took care of business against Marana in a game that wasn't even as close as the scoreline suggests. And the scoreline suggests 91-73. Thank you, Coach, first of all, for getting us all revenge for the football season.
Yeah.
You guys also
that
had
was necessary.
You guys also had a
I'm glad you
tournament you
called it
went to.
Marana.
Well, I mean, you cry about it every time I say Marana, so here we go. But yeah, so you also had a tournament that you guys participated in. Didn't really go your way, but you were telling me that you're just trying to get rotational players a bit more time in there. So let's talk a little bit about this last week of basketball, starting with that tournament that was in Coolidge, Arizona.
Yeah. We went to a holiday tournament out in Coolidge High School. You know, Dave Glasgow is the coach there. He used to be a coach at Buena, and I was a part of his staff, and so there's a connection there between Buena and Coolidge. So we went out there and supported that tournament. Opportunity for us to play and get guys experience and get the season going.
Were those official win-losses on the thing?
They do count on your win-loss record, but they don't count on power points and how it goes to your playoff contention. There's a regular season record, and then there's a tournament record that they keep track of as well. All of it matters, I guess you'd say. For what our goals are, we go by the regular season.
Okay. Well, for the folks at home, how did we do?
Well, we won the first game of the tournament, and that's when we actually played all of our starters and all of our main guys. And then we lost the next three. So, like he said, not what we wanted. We still go into every game trying to win the game.
Sure.
You know?
Sure.
So
Well, of course,
we want to win, and you know, we still want to get guys experience. We understand what's at risk there of being, not being able to possibly win the tournament. Also, it was a tournament that you really couldn't win. There was not going to be the champion of the tournament. So it was a deal where you just have 4 games scheduled, and do your best in those games. So we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. Obviously, not winning the games. We would have liked to win all 4, but for what our goals are, long term, big picture, we got done what we needed to get done.
I forgot the mic was on this side this time, so we had to turn around just like we did last time. Don't worry, everybody. You can hear us all
So you
now.
can probably hear it now.
It's always weird. It's always weird looking at yourself. You're like, hey.
I know. Now I'm just trying
Not
to keep
for
myself
him. I
in
mean,
the frame.
he's a good-looking fella. You know.
There's a reason the camera's focused on Coach Baker, for sure.
So it looks like the team is really coming around. Looks like you have them about where you want them to be. That game against Marana, they looked really good, really sharp offensively. I mean, as a fan, I didn't like the second half comeback for Marana, but that second quarter, you guys jumped out by 20 on these cats.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, the team's looking like how are you feeling about it? To me, as a fan, it's looking like where they want to be.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're not going to be where we want to be until February, which that's when we want to be playing our best basketball.
Sure.
It's early. We like what we saw, but as coaches and looking at the film, we saw a lot of things we didn't like too. So we're growing and we're just getting better every day, and that's where we want to be. So yes, it was good to see our offense get going a little bit better. We broke 90 points.
Awesome.
Probably could have, done a little bit better, but again, this is a situation where everybody gets to play.
Yeah.
So we got guys' experience, and sometimes when you do that, the other team, they're gonna keep playing, and Marana don't quit.
Sure.
And they're still playing hard and trying to save themselves from embarrassment, or trying to show that they're good players and have pride and stuff like that too. So sometimes those comebacks are gonna happen.
They had the brothers that really kept them in that game. Those 2 kids. What was that kid's name?
Roba.
Yes. Yeah, they tried their damnedest, but it wasn't good enough. Buena was able to hold them off.
Again, I think when we talk about Buena, and we talked about it early in the season, was every offense will come. You got to knock the rust off, whatever. And the offense showed up in a big way. Coach, you weren't happy with the 91, but I do remind you, you had freshmen in for like 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, that's what I mean. I was like, it was good to see our offense get 90. It could have even been more if we really are trying to push for that and play our main guys the whole game. But again, early in the season, just like with that tournament I was just talking about, you really gotta develop the young players.
Sure. Because they need to see those lights. Yeah.
In February, when you're playing conference games and you're playing for playoff positioning, you can't bring guys in then and try to get them playing experience then. So you do that in these early tournaments, you do that in these early season games, and we're hoping it'll pay off for us later on in the season.
Nate Ellison in the chat says Buena Stalker starts this evening hosting Ironwood Ridge. It seems like every season starts with Ironwood Ridge for Buena, but sure. And
Buena's at home tonight?
Soccer.
Oh,
soccer, yeah.
Oh, I was like,
no, we would have had it on the schedule.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I
Now,
need to check my calendar.
The girls are home. No, actually, I take that back. No.
Okay.
Usually they play on the same night, but this game got rescheduled for them. They're going to be playing it at U of A, I think. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
We always try to get out for a Buena home game for sure. And we didn't see them.
Oh no! I was like, we don't have one that isn't scheduled. So I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, so we're on the road tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To Rio Rico? Or
Actually, it's
Rincon first.
Yeah, Rincon University.
Saturday. They have Rio Rico on Saturday.
Yes.
Friday,
Saturday.
Well, the girls. Excuse me, I have the girls. Excuse me, I have the girls. Sorry.
We're still getting over the technical issues. We're trying to get our brains processed.
Yeah,
But
no.
Talk a little bit about Rincon University and Rio Rico. I believe that they're 4A schools, are they not?
No, Rincon is 6A.
Oh, they're 6A?
Yeah. Now Rio Rico, I believe they're 4A. So big games for us, big opportunities. Again, it's early in the season. We're starting to click on our cylinders a little bit better, and we'll see if that continues tonight. I expect it to.
I meant to ask, am I giving away golf today?
We could. We do have a few people in the chat, so we'll go ahead and get a question in. I think this is probably going to be the biggest our chat gets. It's not football season anymore.
No, I was
You know
just
how it
curious.
goes.
No, the reason why I asked is I had a trivia question, and my wife knew the answer, so it was obviously too easy. So I came up with a new trivia question. That's what I was just asking.
Let's go ahead and give the easy one.
The easy? No, it's too easy.
Okay.
It's too easy. I don't want to just give away golf. Okay.
That's kind of what we're here to do.
All right, so we're going to give away 9 holes of golf today at Sierra Vista Golf Center in Pueblo Del Sol. Now, the easy question was, what NBA player has the highest points per game in NBA history?
That's
way
easy.
too easy, right?
He has a shoe.
If your wife gets it, I don't know your wife. Respectfully, I think I know that.
Yes. Okay. So, if you want 9 holes of free golf at Sierra Vista Golf Center in Pueblo Del Sol, what player had the highest points per game in college basketball history? That is your question. No, the pro one's way too easy.
Does he have 2 names?
Oh.
What's that?
Does he have 2 names he goes by?
No.
Are you sure?
That's what I
I'm
was
positive.
saying.
Oh, no. So in the NBA, it's Michael Jordan. The answer is Michael Jordan. He has the highest points per game
could've guessed
scored
that.
in NBA history. Who has the highest points per game in college basketball history? Not as easy. So if you want, we don't just give away free golf. If you want the free
Yes, we
golf,
do.
you need to know the answer to that
That's going to
question.
be a tough one because,
My
people are just going to Google it.
my answer.
No Googling. There's no. Everybody knows there's no
Because
cheating
there's so many
with Dave's trivia
colleges,
questions.
small colleges that have these guys that can score like 50, 60 points.
We had one at UMKC for the longest time. He was averaging 29 points per game. We actually went to the tournament.
Oh, yeah.
This player in his senior year averaged 49.7 points
That's
per
what
game.
I mean. It's like a ridiculous number.
So, anyways, I'm gonna let you sit on that for a minute as we
All
get
right,
into high
sucks
school
everyone that we
basketball.
can't give free golf away today. Thank you, Dave, for that question. But let's get into the Buena week that was.
I'm not just gonna give you a Michael Jordan question.
Well, yeah, any question
Michael
that
Jordan.
ends with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's too easy.
It's too easy.
It's too easy.
Let's talk about the Buena Colts, currently sitting at 4-3. 3 of those losses don't matter in power points. They went 1-0 last week in the game I was at, 91-73 against Marana. They have a road trip all week. I do want to talk specifically about that Marana game. Not that you guys didn't have good stats across the board in the tournament, but you could tell like 15 points and then other players got in. And so I wanted to talk about I wouldn't say real game, but the real game, Jamin Booker.
I was like, Booker wants his 30 minutes. He wants it so bad. He's like, give me the 30 minutes.
28 points for Jamin Booker, and he could have had more. Like Jamin was sitting out for most of the fourth quarter. Maybe he got a minute or something like that in.
Yeah.
And he had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, filling up the box score, as we like to say. Jamin Booker, I was going to say best player in Cochise County, but I got another one coming in here in a second.
Okay.
Lexi Boss?
Maybe. Julian Duran. This was exciting to see because
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had, since I've been covering Wayne, an out-and-out three-point shooter. And Julian Duran went 5 of 5 in the first quarter from three-pointer.
Yeah.
Finished with 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. Congratulations,
Yeah.
Julian. I
Yeah.
think he really got you off the snide. After that, everyone just kind of
Yeah.
played
yeah.
with confidence after that one.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, I'm happy for him. He's a great shooter. He's a great kid. Great student athlete. He deserves it. He puts a lot of time in. He's made himself one of the, if not the best shooter in our program. He's one of. And it was about time. I mean, he had been struggling a little bit early in the season. We knew that he was going to get it going eventually. Shooters shoot. That's what they do. And sometimes the law of averages just have to turn into your favor at some point. And it was good to get him going like that. And 5 for 5, and
First quarter.
really got us going offensively. And like you said, it kind of changed their defense. It changed kind of the confidence level of our offense from that point moving forward. So
You got someone that's not missing from three-point lane. You kind of have to roll to him. Now, Julian did do a couple of heat checks there in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I've had games like that where you go 5 of 5 in the first, and all of a sudden your mind starts going to weird places. Like, what if I go 20 of 20? Your mind starts going to weird places. So the fact that he was able to even keep the hand from shaking after you have a start like that.
I hit one good drive on the golf course. I'm like, what if I could do that 18 times?
When you have a first quarter like that, but oh my goodness! Like I said, I got off work at about halftime. I almost came down to the gym. I almost did.
We'll
I
go
didn't
back
realize
to-
it was so early in the game.
We'll finish off the stats here. Jesus Pacheco, another Zeus, another double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds. Also had 5 assists and 4 steals. And this is one thing we talk about with Jesus Pacheco is even if the shooting's not there, he's going to get it done in other ways. And underrated. I didn't even know he had 5 assists in that game. So he's really getting it done.
For the big guy, he's a very versatile player.
He's a great passer, great rebounder. He's the team captain of this team. He's a great leader. If he gets to play at the next level, it's going to be because of his intangibles. Because he can score, he'll sometimes lead us in scoring, but even if, like you said, even if the scoring's not there, he's going to do enough other things to help win. So it's hard to take him off the court.
Coach at next level. Woo.
Well, it's like you
I love it.
It's kind of like diversifying your portfolio. If you rely on this and it's not there, it's going to go bad. But if you have a lot of skill sets you can do,
Right.
you're good for the exploit. We're going to finish off with Sam Criado, who's the 4th starter to have double-digit points in this game. 11 points, 7 assists, 2 steals. Shout out to Kingston Clark, was I believe 1 point away from having all 5 starters in double digits for the Blandon Colts. What a game against Marana.
Yeah. Like you said, Jamin led the way with 28 points. Could have had more. Again, I think that's a testament not just to him and his ability. He has a great ability to finish at the rim.
Yes,
Obviously,
through contact.
he gets dunked. He'll get a dunk or 2 every game that gets everybody going. But
Gets me going.
that might be 2 or 4 points, but the other 20 are coming from a lot of his ability to finish either hand, either side of the rim. So athletic and just so gifted at that. So, but I also credit the team for getting him the ball in those situations. Jamin is, if you watch him play, he rarely takes the ball and does a bunch of moves and goes and scores. Usually he's scoring off of a pass from his teammates. So really
Within
a
the
good
offense,
job.
yeah.
Yes, really a good job by the team. Even with Julian, he went 5 for 5. Not one of those shots did he dribble into.
No.
Those were all coming off of passes.
That's exact. And as a coach, you got to just be
5
loving
assists
that.
by Zeus, 7 assists by Sam. Guys really sharing the ball, and that's what makes us good.
Yeah, as a coach, you got to be loving that. You're like nobody's creating. Like they're all working within each other, and
Right.
the last thing you want to see is one-on-one basketball as a coach.
Right.
You're like,
We got a spoiler for you, Coach. We're going to be at the Benson Holiday Classic Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if we have the St. David boys on the schedule, watch them play basketball. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the same team as the senior. We haven't seen them in a couple years. It was a rebuilding year
I think
last
they're
year.
one of the ones that are on my schedule on Friday. I know they are. I
But
know they are.
that's a team that you're just going to love. The coaches love them.
Yeah.
They just they don't
Yeah.
even dribble.
And so, spoiler alert. Big guy's going to do 3 games on Thursday. I'm going to do 3 games on Friday.
Maybe 3. Still haven't decided. Still haven't decided, folks. Sorry about that. But Dave, let's get over to the Buena Lady Colts as you decided not sit down anymore. Bless you if you sneeze. I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Did.
Oh, let's get over to the Buena Lady Colts. How are they doing this year?
Let's see. They are 2-1 on the year, 0-0 in their region. They did beat Marana. That was their only game last week, 52-42. They are playing their next game Saturday at Rio Rico. Let's talk about the Marana game. London Richardson, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. And then we have a new one. Coach, I'm going to assume that this is Isis. Isis Perez, 14 points,
All
10
Cochise.
rebounds. So the Buena Lady Colts get 2-1 on the season. Their next game is Saturday against Rio Rico. They look pretty good.
Congratulations to the Buena Lady Colts. Let's pivot over to our 1A section. We'll start with the Canyon Athletic Conference for one reason and one reason only, and that's C.J. Williams for the American Leadership Academy of Sierra Vista. So ALA
is this kid?
Sierra Vista is 3-2 on the season. They went 2-1 last week.
Who is this
Oh
kid?
man, they have one game this week against
Is he that good?
Tohono O'odham.
He's good.
C.J. Williams.
I got it.
Well,
Go
he
ahead.
scored,
No,
50,
you
he
guys
scored
go ahead.
50 points a game, but I mean, like, again, it's in the CAA, so I mean, what's going on right now, Coach?
He's legit. He's a legit player.
Is he a guard? Like,
he's a
tell
guard.
us- tell us about this
He's
kid.
A guard. I don't know him that well, but I know over the summer he moved here from Alabama.
Okay.
And when he was there, he was scoring a lot. I think he was just a sophomore.
He's a junior this year.
On varsity last year, where he was before, and he was scoring, I think, 20 points a game or something like that, which is impressive at it.
Sure,
at any
sure,
level,
sure.
even if it is lower level. And then, so he came here. His dad, I believe, is the coach. He kind of went back and forth on whether they were going to go to Buena or, play for your dad is a good opportunity.
Sure,
too.
sure. And
So,
you're like,
well, yeah, he's a good player. He played pickup basketball and around with a lot of our guys that play at Buena, and the varsity level Buena players. So if you think of like that, one of the Jamin.
The internet. There it is. We're back and better than ever. Not really.
as long as his face is on the camera.
Right. We got.
But no, C.J. Williams is a great kid. He seems to be a great kid. His dad is a great man, great coach. He's legit. I know I have people but
Oh, sure.
But he's a legit player for real.
Yeah, he's good for 20 burgers. I know. They're like,
Yeah, I mean, hey,
So let's-
maybe he could, maybe.
Dave's overselling his stats slightly, but not by much, Dave, because last week he did average 45 points a game. And over the course of the season, he's got 40.2 points per game, 5 steals, and 2 blocks a game. He's averaging 5.2 rebounds a game and 5 assists a game. So C.J. Williams really putting in that work. I don't want to lose sight of Porter Jones, who's the second leading scorer for Sierra. I can't remember what their mascot is. Well, it'll come to me.
apparently C.J. Williams.
Porter Jones, a freshman, averages 10. It's back. It's back. Here we go.
Oh, my. We
You know what
try
the-
so hard,
You know what the
folks.
sad thing is? I actually have the Wi-Fi to this, so it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, Owen Onstad also leading the team in rebounds for ALA Sierra Vista.
Does not want us.
God does not want us to. I'm going to stay right here. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm telling you, the good Lord does not want us doing this show on Tuesday mornings anymore. I swear to you. The ALA girls team 0-2 on the year. I have absolutely nothing on them at all. Coaches, you got to put your stuff on the internet. We are in Canyon Athletic. I do have some numbers on San Simone. I do have numbers on them.
Okay.
4-5 on the year, 1-1 in their region. They beat Patagonia 43-27. And they beat Lourdes Catholic 25-6. That's a random score. They did lose to Baba Kivri 47-33 last week. These are all last week.
Good team.
But let's talk about the Patagonia game. Alazon Corrales, 34 points, 4 rebounds, and Holly Keel, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 9 steals. So we do see you, San Simone. I didn't forget about you. I just want you to know.
Well, speaking of the San Simone, I did forget about them because they don't have stats. They're 2-6 on the year. They went 1-2 last week. They do host Valley Union coming up, and they do have games against Wilcox and
They're in the tournament.
Duncan.
They're in the tournament.
San Simone, no, they're
I
not.
thought they were.
They are not.
Oh.
For sure, they're not. Let's pivot back over to the Canyon Athletic. The last team we get to cover is the Marine Academy Eagles in Canyon Athletic. They're 0-2 and went 0-2 last week. Tonight they're against Basis out of Mesa. No stats on the Marine Academy Eagles, but go support the boys tonight. As always, we want to see full stands, and it makes our jobs easier.
Yeah. Well, we saw them in Wilcox. The Wilcox-Bisbee game was pretty wild out over there. So, yeah, you see what full stands can do for you. What happened when Wilcox made that comeback? Well, you could hear that gym. I'll tell you
there's
what.
nothing better than a student section in basketball.
That Wilcox student section, shout out to Wilcox, because that was a fun game against Bisbee, who they never beat. Marine Academy ladies, 0-2, 0-1 in the region. They did lose to TCCA 36-16, and they did lose to Skyline 45-12. Their next Lady Marine, their next game is at Arizona Cultural Academy next Monday. So let's get off the schneid. So let's move into let's do 1A.
Yeah, we did San Simon, so let's go over to St. David. Why not?
St. David, the ladies, again, they're having an off year this year. They did get a win over Duncan, but they're 2-5 on the year. They did beat Duncan 44-13. They lost to Tombstone. No shame in that game at all.
No, Tombstone.
They do play tonight at home against San Simon, and they're tomorrow at Patagonia, and then they will be in the tournament. Let's see here, but let's talk about that win against Duncan. A couple of names that we know: Emma Hart, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Gracie, sophomore Emma Hart. Gracie Crockett, 14 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 9 steals. So Gracie Crockett is back. Looks like St. David ladies are turning it around.
Yeah, it's tough with St. David when you lose Hawkes and you lose Trejo, your number one ball handler, your number one scorer, and let's just be honest, Anissa Hawkes was the best female basketball player last year in all of Arizona, so that's going to be a tough one to replace. Getting over to the boys, they had a transition year last year, starting off the season 2-0 this year. They will be in that Benson Holiday tournament. No stats on the St. David boys team yet, which is depressing because that's where we get our St. David Power Hour.
Come on, Coach.
And pivoting over back to the Valley Union Blue Devils, they will play at San Simon. I think that's tonight or tomorrow.
Tonight, yeah.
They're going to be in the Benson Holiday Classic. They are 0-4 currently, and they were 0-1 last week. We talked about having to replace somebody. We talked about Landon Glenn with 6'5" on 1A, and I think Dylan Mitchell might have been hurt. I know he's not on the roster anymore, but that's all I know about Valley Union.
Well, again, let's talk about the Benson Holiday Classic. I'm a little jealous. He's doing the Thursday game. I'm doing the Friday game. You get to do Douglas and Tombstone
ladies.
Ooh, I was like, oh no.
Max Preps has
I want to see that game.
The Tombstone ladies at 14, the Wilcox ladies at 15. Wilcox isn't going to be a part of that for some reason. Is what it is. And then the Douglas Lady Bulldogs, I believe, are top 10 in the state. So that's going to be the game of the year in Cochise County early on.
As we're going to transition over to Valley Union, as I get into this, anybody from Valley Union, if you're watching, you need to let me know what's going on. So Valley Union lost their last game to the Gregory School. Lexi Boss.
It's a good school.
Lexi Boss, they lost 31-21. The reason why that's concerning is that Lexi Boss had 2 points and 5 rebounds.
You think she might have gotten hurt?
She might have gotten hurt in that game. That's why they lost that game. Kylie Gilbreth also had 11 points, 15 rebounds. But Lexi Boss, if there's an injury or something, let us know, because she's kind of like one of the best female players that we have.
Happened in Benson last year. They had a big 3 with the ladies, and 2 of them got hurt, and that was it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what happened in the Gregory School game. They will be a part of that tournament. I think that they are on my schedule. I'm not sure. Yes, they are. They are on the schedule against Bisbee. I will be covering Valley Union. I will be covering their game against the Bisbee Lady Pumas. So if anybody out there, reach out to me about Lexi Boss. Let me know what's going on.
Coach Baker, we're talking about this Holiday Classic. Did you guys get invited or no?
No, they don't include us in those. We're
2A and 1A schools.
I know. I was hoping.
We're a little too big in size. I don't mean like too big. Yeah. I mean school size.
No, you're too big-headed now. This is why we're here. We're going to get the Bulls. But 5A, that would have been great. Hey, I don't care, Benson. Like, invite every team from Cochise County. I know.
No, why not?
Buena's not going to be there.
Respectfully to those teams, there's a lot of years where when these teams have their really good seasons that they could compete with Buena and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So it could happen, but I think it'd be kind of unfair to the smaller schools.
Yeah, for sure.
That,
it'd be nice for Cool FM, though. Yeah. We cover all these teams. But here's the thing.
Now, with that being said by Coach, 2 years ago, I'll tell you what, Bisbee would have given Buena the business.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's always going to be a team, whether it be Benson, Bisbee, where they're really good this year.
Yeah.
And they could compete with the 4A, 5A, 6A. I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's all the other teams that are in these tournaments
Yeah,
that it would not be really fair to, because they're all wanting to compete with like size schools.
So speaking of size, not in that, but in terms of the players, I think the biggest difference is
Go with Coach Matt.
the athleticism of the. So Jesus Pacheco's 6'4" or 6'3" or something like that. He
Yeah.
doesn't look it because
Right.
you're all pretty big.
Right.
But it's the amount of athleticism that comes from
Yeah.
Pacheco and Booker.
Yeah.
Like when you have 6'4", 6'5", and Wilcox, for instance, like Caden Hooper, he's been a center his whole life, so he's going to play big man basketball. I think the only difference really is your bigs are kind of more athletic in terms of that's just what they've been playing their whole lives.
Yeah, the bigger the school, the bigger the pool of talent and players. We deal with the same thing when we go into Phoenix, and we have to play against those 5As and those 6As, and the players are usually bigger and more athletic and stuff. So it's all about your school population. You have a bigger pool of players to go to dive into and to select from. And then also you have certain schools are known as sports schools or academic schools or whatever the case may be, and players can sometimes select which school you want to go to. Hey, I'm going to go there because they have a good football program. I'm going to go here because they have a good basketball program. Here you don't really get the option to do that. If you live in Valley Union or something, you're going there. If you live in Sierra Vista, well, now we have a few different options with ALA and there's Tombstone and stuff like that. But excuse me, in the Phoenix area, you have a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different schools and options for players to go to, and that's why it's a little bit more difficult to play against the larger schools when you're a small school.
I won't give my hot take on that.
Recruiting's the thing for sure, but
sometimes they buy their players.
I did talk about Caden Hooper for the Wilcox Cowboys.
I'm from LA, like Modern Dye and all that buy their teams.
Well, I didn't want to say it, but the way Coach is saying, I saw a documentary about high school basketball in California, and they had these kids, they're typical Buenos Aires 6'4", they're big or whatever. And I will never forget it because my wife always talks about Long Beach Poly. And that's a team in California, and I guess they're like the #1 team. She said anytime they came in, like they were just up there doing alley-oops through the legs. And this is a high school team, so they had that on the documentary, and I'm like, that's Long Beach Poly. So it's tough when you have a bunch of LeBron Jameses running around because they can pick their schools.
I'll tell you, it's funny if you're from LA because every year we have, well, not every year, but it's Crenshaw Modern Day. And Crenshaw is a locally public school, and Modern Day pays for their players basically. And so every year when Crenshaw plays Modern Day, you're like, come on, Crenshaw, let's go. We actually played Crenshaw when I was in high school. That was not fun.
All right, we'll get over to the
Chris Johnson
Wilcox
played for
Cowboys
UCLA?
and Cowgirls.
Do you remember him, the light-skinned guy with the Jerry curl? He played for UCLA. He was number 50. He played for Crenshaw when we played them.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it was not fun. It was not fun.
Now we're going to get over to the Wilcox Cowboys and Cowgirls. Wilcox Cowboys, sneaky good season so far. Capped last week with a win over the Bisbee Pumas in a game that we were at. So they're 5-3 overall, 2-1 last week. They do have Safford coming up, which I think is either 3 or 4A in basketball. Then they also have Suarita, and Suarita is a 4A school for sure. So the Wilcox Cowboys with a couple of good tests here. Speaking of good things from the Wilcox Cowboys, we have stats. And guess who's leading the team in points, Dave?
That'd be Caden Hooper.
Caden Hooper, 6'5", big man
with
for
Mr.
the
Hooper.
Wilcox Cowboys, 16.6 points a game, 6.4 rebounds a game, and also averages a block a game. Second leading scorer, Jerry Reyes, 9 points per game for the Wilcox Cowboys, 6.2 rebounds per game, and 2.4 assists a game. Sophomore, J.D. Wetton, third leading scorer on the team, 8.2 points per game, 2 assists a game, and 3 steals per game. Then Giovanni Rodriguez, special shout out, the person that does all the dirty work, a few steals a game and a few assists a game as well for the Wilcox Cowboys. A team, Dave, and we were trying to figure out coming into the season in 2A boys basketball who was going to be the cream of the crop. Bisbee's losing Jose Mendez, they're losing Pico, they're losing Molina, they're losing a lot of people, JP, that were legitimate role players as well. So now not only do they have to replace Jose, they have to replace 4 of the starters around Sebastian Lopez. The reason I bring them up, they were the cream of the crop for the last few years. Now we were looking kind of like Benson, but then they lost Dalton Crockett and Keelan Payne. We're going to see how they did without their size. So far it's okay, but it's not where they want to be, and it looks like Wilcox ready to take that step in the class of 2A for Cochise County.
I want to talk about J.D. Wetton. Well, we have Coach over here. He was talking about his team. Wetton, you can shoot. This is me by doing my coaching thing through the show here. J.D. Wetton, you can shoot. Like, do it in the flow of the offense. Like, don't force these shots. Your team is going to create these open shots, like as the coach was talking about with his team. Do it in the flow of the offense because you can shoot. So just keep up that 3-point stroke, but do it in fluidity. Like, don't force your. There was a couple times against Bisbee where you really forced that shot. Do it within the offense. You can shoot, brother. And speaking of the Wilcox, the Cowgirls, woo, 5-1.
You want to know something about the Cowgirls?
What?
They're ranked right behind Tombstone.
Oh, really? Well,
and
okay.
all of Arizona, Wilcox is 15, Tombstone's 14.
I'm going to tell you why. They're 5-1. They're 1-0 in their region. Last week they beat Catalina 54-18. They beat Bisbee 50-26. They look really good. They played Empire last night. We don't know who won that game. They have Stafford tonight.
Another 4.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Bisbee game. Addison Burray. Again, we have names that I have never seen before. Addison Burray, 11 points, 12 rebounds, 5 steals, 4 assists. And Kennedy Ebert, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Wilcox Cowgirls looking all the part right now. They look really good.
That's crazy. You didn't mention Maddie Bennett not one time on that. That's crazy.
She wasn't the numbers.
I know, that's nuts. It just means that Wilcox, the Cowgirls are just getting it done.
Yeah, they look really that surprising Wilcox Cowgirls. And while we're on the Pumas, let's go to the Lady Pumas. They're 4-3 on the year, 1-1 in their region, so they're having a good year. They did lose to Tombstone, no shame in that game, 40-31. They did lose to Wilcox, 50-26. They beat San Miguel, 81-25. They will be in the Benson tournament. I have no stats on the Lady Pumas. Coach Borges, love y'all. I need stats.
Well, the boys team finally did get their stats in, and as you would imagine, the name on the top is Mr. Sebastian Lopez. Don't worry, folks. He's only going to play. He's only going to be here one more year.
Yeah, one more semester.
The Sebastian Lopez show will be gone.
They've
Man,
been hearing the name for 3 years now. It's like
in football, baseball, and basketball. We actually talked about this, about him being such a 3-sport star, and I don't think I've seen it of any other team in Cochise County where you just have, he's the top player in football, top player in basketball, one of the top players in baseball. Like, so Sebastian Lopez, he deserves all the flowers for sure. He gets the, as Dave would like to say, them homes treatment because all we do is talk about him.
Yeah, we glazed Sebastian Lopez. Well deserved. You know what? Somebody I have to say I misspoke last week. I was talking to my wife about Sebastian Lopez randomly, and only because it's the sport that he's not the best at. He's a great football player, great baseball player. Like I was talking about basketball, where you would say it would be his 3rd best sport, but he's a basketball player. I was like, I had to correct myself. I'm like, oh, he's not really a basketball player. I'm like, yes, he is. It's just his 3rd best sport. But yes, the kid is a basketball player.
And it's next level what you want because he's.
His spin move is off the charts.
We talked to the baseball, basketball, football coaches. Like everyone thinks that that's his best sport, and it's absolutely crazy. Congratulations to the Lopez family dynasty, 2nd best basketball player in that family, by the way.
Yeah. He's not the best basketball player in that family.
Gabriela Lopez, best female basketball player I've ever seen. Bisbee boys are currently 5-3. They went 2-1 last week. Sorry, Ryan Russell's commenting in the chat. It's getting my attention. They did lose to Wilcox. They did beat Tombstone, which it turns out it's going to be a pretty good win. The Tombstone Yellow Jackets, as we talk about them next, are a pretty formidable foe here this season. They will be playing in the Benson Holiday Tournament. Sebastian Lopez does lead the team with almost double-double, 16.5 points per game, 9.2 rebounds per game. He has 3 assists per game and 1 block a game. Hunter Wright also averages double digits for the Bisbee Pumas. I believe he's sophomore.
Hunter Wright's a junior, but he's going to come around. Like Hunter Wright, I'm watching your game. Same thing. Play within the offense, brother, because your game's cutting there. Like, I'm watching your game. You got to play within the offense.
Ryan Russell in the chat says Lopez is an all-around great sports player. So Absolutely. I appreciate kids that play all sports because we talk about it all the time. Clarissa Sotelo in the chat says, hi guys, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, Clarissa?
Hunter Wright also averages 2.5 assists per game and 3.3 steals per game, getting it done defensively. And that's going to bring us over to Cisco Ashave, I believe is what the name is. My chicken scratch handwriting.
Cisco kid.
See, Coach, I'm not lying. You just can't read my handwriting. 5.3 points per game, 1.2 steals per game, and 5.5 rebounds per game. So again, when we talk about the Bisbee Pumas, one thing is they can develop in season. We talked about the Lady Pumas last year with Courtney Borquez, how they got off to a bad start. Not only just Gabby, Janet, Unitzia, like all of them were gone. So their core was gone. But towards the end of the season, I think they finished on a win streak of like 5 games or something. So it's just something that has to develop. Coach, you talked about it earlier. When you put your role players into a tournament, you're going to have to rely on those players to develop, to go anywhere later in the postseason.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then you got to find out as coaches what you have in those players, because they need to be able to play against other varsity competition and for you to really see who can hang and who cannot, or what you can rely on and what you can't. And you have to put players in positions to play real meaningful games. You can't learn all these things about your players just in practice when you're practicing against yourself.
When the lights are on.
Against yourself.
How do you play when the lights are on and everyone's looking at you? And that student section is right in your face with a brick counter, holding it right there. By the way, that's a great one. When student section, loved it.
If you're a good defensive team, like I think we are,
Yes, you are.
If we're let's just say our rotational players or our bench players, if in practice, if we're a good defensive team, maybe they don't have that much success. So we need to know, are they not having success because you're going against Jamin and Zeus and these good defensive players?
Yes, is the answer.
Let me see what you would do against another team that's not us.
We got
to give you in those real life situations, in those real life moments, to see, okay, yes, I think this guy is a gamer. I think he can do this. He can be a secondary ball handler, or this guy does have the confidence to shoot the ball when this guy can rebound against other guys when he's not trying to box out Zeus, or because
that's never going to happen.
Right. So really, all teams are doing this. All coaches throughout Cochise County and throughout Arizona and everywhere else. Early in the season, you're trying to learn about your team. Everybody's lost players that they were counting on the year before. Some more than others. Some, better players than others. But everybody's having to reassess what their team is and where they're at. And usually that first month of the season, it's a lot of positioning and finding out your rotation. And
figuring out what you got,
Clarissa Sotelo in the chat says, Anthony Holy Molina and Andre Molina are brothers. Confirmed.
I figured that out by the second quarter. I'll tell you that.
They will not call Andre Holy Molina until he has a Holy Molina
you gotta
moment.
You gotta earn Holy Molina. You don't just get given Holy Molina.
We have nicknames for the kids.
I
know. Let's get over to the last 2A team that we're going to talk about, the Tombstone Yellow Jackets. We'll go with the boys. They don't have any stats on them. They are 3-5. Currently 0-4 last week. They started 3-0, and so I was taking attention, but they lost to Bisbee and a couple other teams last week. They will be in the holiday tournament, and we'll see how the Tombstone boys team rebounds. Last year was a definite rebuilding year despite the matrix with his 20 points per game, trying to get a team around him, now having a little bit more success this year.
And I did message Coach Valenzuela. You're going to see that because the Tombstone Lady Yellow Jackets are 8-1. They're 1-0 in the region. They beat Bisbee. They beat Desert Christian. They beat St. David. They're going to be in the Benson tournament. Coach Valenzuela, please send me some stats on your kids. I want to know more about the Lady Yellow Jackets. We're gonna find out about it on a Thursday. Never mind.
Riella Schuler.
I got nothing.
I have them all.
And I got nothing.
I got them all on the all Cochise team. Rachel Thursby will be in there.
I think they're all the starters. Yes. Between them and
Brooklyn
Douglas.
Penrose is one of them. They went to the playoffs last year with one senior.
They beat Desert Christian 51-17. I have no stats.
Desert Christian running rough shot over Cochise County.
They beat St. David 42-34. They beat Bisbee. Tombstone, you're so good. Please let me know about your team. I'd love to know about this.
Shout out Coach Valenzuela. I will be fitting into my Tombstone shirt that you gave us here before too long.
And again, he will be broadcasting on Thursday the Cochise County Game of the Week. He'll be doing a solo broadcast because they'll be taking on the Douglas Lady
That will
Bulldogs.
be the first game I think I go out there for.
Yeah.
It's 3:20 p.m.
Yeah, I was like, I was
we do have
jealous
to
of
work,
that one.
folks. We have jobs that pay us as well, so we have to keep those
No,
people
I love
happy
that
as well.
Tombstone team.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to watch it. But they're taking on the Douglas Lady Bulldogs on Thursday at that tournament, who beat Arcadia 83-13 last week.
Have they been beaten yet?
God, no, they did. They had a weird game against Sabino, 67-60. I think there was a lot of foul trouble issues in that game. They did play Rio Rico last night. They will be in the tournament. But let's talk about their Arcadia game. 83-13. Francia Rubio, 19 points, 8 assists, 8 steals. See how I get to read stats for some of these teams? Evelyn Gonzalez, 18 points, 8 steals. Scarlett Ruiz, 13 points, 6 assists, 8 steals. So the Douglas Lady Bulldogs are the part. I can't wait to see them on Thursday.
Well, and that's the thing too is like you just mentioned the big three, but I've seen the role players because Rubio was out. I think they had 2 players missing in that game I broadcast last year, and they almost beat Micah Mountain. And Micah Mountain's a powerhouse in sports right now.
Yeah, they're legit. Yeah.
And they almost beat Micah Mountain in their playing game last year. They're just ready to go. Let's say that. Also ready to go is the Douglas coach is giving me stats. Please, whenever you can. 1-3 last week. 0-2. They will be in the Holiday Classic. Ryan Russell in the chat echoing those sentiments, saying we need those stats. Folks, we will have, I think next week, the final football recognitions of all state honors. We have the 1A, 2A, we're waiting on 4A, 5A, and the whole state of Arizona, regardless of classification. We'll look and get those kids recognition, but that's going to do it for our high school coverage. And we got a big weekend planned coming up in the Benson Holiday Classic where we get to see all but, I believe, 3 of our AIA Cochise County teams.
You got Douglas Tombstone girls. I got Valley Union
That's
girls.
the only one I know I'm going to be for sure.
I got Valley Union girls. We're going to do a couple of boys games. So we're going to see a lot of our.
And then we're going to be there for the semifinals and the state championship. Did we not do Benson? I thought we did Benson. We didn't do Benson. Thank you so much in the chat to Amber Ramirez.
Oh, that's the lady. That's the young lady who sent me. I actually have her name right down right there.
Thank you so much,
She's
Amber
the one that sent me the stats of Benson. Yeah, I'm going to start with the Lady Bobcats.
There's so much to cover. I'm losing myself.
I'm going to start with the Lady Bobcats. They're 3-4.
Kaylee Taylor.
0-0 in the region. Her name didn't make the list this week.
Audrey Moon.
It did not. Let's see. They lost to Pima 59-25. They beat Lincoln Prep 34-30. Let's talk about the Lincoln Prep game for the Lady Bobcats. Lexi Trigala, 14 points, and Jalen De La Cruz with 10 points in that game. So the Lady Bobcats 3-4. As he said early in the season, we're figuring out our team. Plenty of time to turn it around. They will be in the tournament this weekend. We will see the Lady Bobcats.
Well, it's their tournament, I would hope.
Yeah.
We do have to figure out where the other
they
gym
do play
is.
the Gregory. They do play the Gregory School tomorrow before
That's
that
going to
tournament.
be a tough one. Well, maybe not. Who was it?
Somebody already smacked them. I can't remember who it was that smacked the Gregory School.
Let's go over to the boys, and thank you. You said Amber Ramirez is the one that gets you stats for him. Thank you, Amber Ramirez.
All those stats I sent you last night,
yes,
that's from
and
Amber
we're going to
Ramirez.
go over them right now. As the Benson Bobcats start off the season 1-2, they do play at the Gregory School, and the Gregory School, one of those teams, along with Desert Christian, I guess this year, that usually gets the number of Cochise County teams.
Annoying, yes.
But then they have the Benson Holiday Classic, and we shall start. Ryan Russell in the chat says, ladies tearing it up all around. Good job. Absolutely. Let's go over to Dominic Villa, our all Cochise starting point guard. If there wasn't a Buena player, it was either Dominic Villa or Sebastian Lopez on our starting team. But this last week, he averaged 15.5 points per game. Also had a steal per game and 4 rebounds per game. I think I put in 10 assists per game as well, but I can't read my chicken scratch handwriting. So congratulations to Dominic Villa, who's going to have to lead this team, and I think he's just a junior as well. He's going to have to lead this team because Crockett and Payne are gone now.
For your Dave joke of the day, Dominic Villa's like my underpants. It's kind of streaky.
We're done with every. No, I'm just kidding. Dawson Judd for the Benson Bobcats.
No, he gets hot. He gets hot.
8.5 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, and 4 steals per game. Harley Van Wormer does lead the team with 7, and last week had 7 rebounds per game. Special recognition to Jason Santo against Lincoln Prep, cracked double-digit points with 10 points per game. Amber Ramirez saying Dominic V is a senior. I remember. I thought he was a sophomore.
I have his roster right here.
I remember last year we were talking about it.
Quizzy,
We saw Benson a lot
That's
more
it.
last year.
Dominic V is a senior. Why am I questioning Amber Ramirez?
I know, right? She would know for sure.
Yeah, she'd know better than I would.
I just remember talking to him last year. I could have swore he told us he was a sophomore. Whatever, doesn't even matter. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for our high school basketball coverage. I do believe, Dave, do you have any questions for me that
Of
you
course
want?
I do. Well, no, I want to get into something else, though.
Oh, never mind then.
What was my DaveStradamus last week? What did I predict?
That's a great question. I was thinking about that before
Come
I
on,
came in.
what did I predict?
Something
I
to do
said
with
that the
LeBron
Seattle
James?
Seahawks were going to go up to Arizona and smack the Arizona Cardinals. Is that correct? So ask me if I have a prediction.
Amber Ramirez in the chat says, I'm his mom. He's definitely a senior. All right, we will never, ever doubt. Well, we didn't doubt Amber Ramirez. Anyway.
Ask me if I have a DaveStradamus this week.
So, okay, I'm going to point out that is not the biggest prediction in the world because that always happens. So, Seattle going up to Arizona. Hey, this thing that
I've
always...
been wrong one time.
This thing that always
Ever.
happens.
And so I had Buena over Morana.
Well,
and by the way, they were
you
winning
said
that
Benson's
game.
going to win the 2A.
Okay, well, we haven't
regional
gotten there
this
yet.
year, but we'll see.
I've been wrong one time. So the Seattle
Ron Wilson says,
Seahawks
"Don't want
are
to hear
going to
it."
host a playoff game, and they're going to win it. So deal with it. God! Kind of, we smacked Arizona so bad.
He's a fan of the Seahawks. I'm a fan of the Chiefs. So he gets to talk Seahawks all day long, but if I bring up the Chiefs, that's when he literally tries to fist fight me after a show. So this is just what it is.
So the Seattle Seahawks are going to host a playoff game, and they're going to win it. Deal with it.
Heard
They
on that.
smacked Arizona so bad.
All right,
Smacked
Dave,
them like
let
their-
me
like
have it,
dinner was
brother.
late.
Ah, we got a quiz for Piz. It's a gamer tag. It's turned into a nickname.
3 questions. I've never called him Paul in my life. It's busy. I've never called him Paul. So 3-question quizzy for busy. Number 1. Where is Aaron Rodgers playing next year?
His couch. I do want to say
That's an answer.
Isaac Garcia in the chat says he would like to say hi to his friend Dennis and is playing good basketball. Absolutely. So Aaron Rodgers is interesting because you think he had the ear of Woody Johnson, the owner for the New York Jets. Now it comes out that Woody Johnson was the one that wanted him benched and they wouldn't do it. So that's when Saleh got let go and all that the coaching staff turnover happened. Ryan Russell says Aaron Rodgers will be in a cave next year.
Doing ayahuasca.
So
France.
Aaron Rodgers right now currently will not be a starting quarterback on any team that wants anything but good PR or something like that, like the Giants. Somebody that wants to win back.
The
over New
Raiders
York.
wouldn't sign Aaron Rodgers.
Not a chance.
The Giants.
No, they're going
wouldn't
to draft
sign Aaron
Shador
Rodgers.
Sanders, so why would they sign Aaron Rodgers? But Aaron Rodgers had his first 300-yard game in 25 or whatever it was games last week. So if
32.
So he's got a lot on the line. If he wants to play next year, he has to keep that pace up. Whether the Jets win or lose, he's got to keep that pace up, and somebody will sign him. Who that will be, time will tell. There's a lot of bad organizations out there. I'm sure the Cleveland Browns will give him a shot.
Jameis, baby.
He'll somebody will take him. And it may not be one of those bad teams. It'll probably be a team
Could be the
that
Vikings.
when their quarterback gets hurt.
The Steelers are an interesting.
When you're a good team and you
J.J. McCarthy
when you have
starting.
playoff aspirations and your quarterback goes down in week 1 or week 2, that's when
That's
Aaron
a
will
good one. That's a
that's
good one
when
there.
Aaron
So
will be involved.
so Aaron Rodgers doesn't start the season on a team, is what I'm saying.
Right.
But
I don't
definitely,
think
if
so
someone
either.
goes down,
But I think him and his agent, they'll know somebody's going down because it happens every year. And it'll be somebody that's on a contender or somebody that wants to contend. Like, I don't know, like the Bengals. Joe
Niners.
Burrow goes down. Burrow
which
goes
happens
down,
more often than not.
or something, and it's like, do we want to scrap this whole season because we haven't invested in a backup? If you have a big-time quarterback, you don't have a good backup because you don't have the money. So somebody like Joe Burrow or
We have
Herbert,
Sam Howell.
those guys that have max contracts that you know they can't go out and get another big-time guy. I think
He still owed so much money from the New York Jets, though. It's hard for me to imagine
Really?
the Jets
Yeah.
are going to pay him
to leave.
to play somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Russell,
San Francisco's
Russell Wilson's
interesting.
doing it right now.
Yeah, he's making a lot of money for the Denver Broncos to kick some ass for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
Well, Pittsburgh's an interesting one because Pittsburgh has 2 quarterbacks that they don't have locked up right now. Maybe they do. Who knows? It's NFL teams do weird things all the
Yes.
time.
Well, anytime your coach's job is on the line, which in the NFL, that's every coach every year.
Every week.
every week. You do anything.
Trust
to
me,
win
I still curse
and
Andy
give
Reid's name a
yourself the
lot, and
best
that guy's
chance.
brought me nothing but success in Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Second question, Dave.
All right. Well, so I can feed your little Chiefs thing over there.
Ha
So the Chiefs are going to be the 1 seed. They have
I
used
wouldn't
their
say
Taylor
that.
Swift voodoo magic to secure the 1 seed. Who are you more scared of, the Bills or the Steelers?
Voodoo Magic being charitable donations, I assume. Who? The Bills or the Steelers?
I knew the Chiefs were trouble when they walked in.
It's
Okay.
a shame. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. I know it's a shame is the next one. Did you say Bills or Steelers?
Yeah,
It's Bills.
The Bills are scarier than the Steelers right now?
Oh, by
The
far.
way the Steelers are playing Steeler football, like getting to the quarterback, TJ Watt's averaging a sack a game. The way the Steelers are playing Steeler football right now.
So
They're kind of terrifying.
the defense
Russ
of
is
the Steelers,
cooking.
the defense of the Steelers is a little bit of an issue. However, when you have a defensive lineman that's dominant,
TJ Watt, yes.
Andy Reid schemes him out of the game. The reason we won the Super Bowl last year is because he put Nick Bosa in a blender, and he kept running read options and making him make decisions and use his head, not let him play downhill. The Buffalo Bills are the scariest team for one reason only, is that's Josh Allen. So here's the thing: if Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, the gap between Josh Allen and whoever number 2 is bigger than the gap between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. So Josh Allen to Lamar Jackson, I would take Josh Allen every day of the week. Josh Allen to Joe Burrow.
See, I'm a
taking-
Lamar guy. I'm like, you can't sell me on that.
It's a little close. I get what you're saying though. But I do think Lamar Jackson's closer to Josh Allen than Josh Allen is to Mahomes.
Lamar or Josh Allen. Well, this
But
year.
the way he's playing right now, though,
This
he
okay,
is-
yes. If
yeah.
we're putting
5
that
touchdowns
back
a game,
last
yeah.
year, yes, we could talk about that. But this year, Josh
Yeah,
Allen is
he's-
playing
yeah, he's not
amazing
in this world.
football. Still not MVP level because that's Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry, but whatever. I mean, I get it's going to be a quarterback award.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
Lamar Jackson wins
I
it
just
last
call it
year.
most valuable quarterback. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, I mean, Josh
Leonard
Allen's
Williams is obviously the MVP.
and I'll tell you what, the Baltimore Ravens are scarier than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ooh.
I agree too.
Ooh, there's a
I
hot
would,
take.
the reason why I agree with what he's saying is because if I was a Chiefs fan, you subconsciously feel like we got Patrick Mahomes. As long as we can outscore the other team, we're gonna. If that's what we have to do, it's fine. Josh Allen is a little scary in that sense, where you feel like he's the other guy that if he has the ball last, we're a little nervous.
Yeah.
You're not fearing Pittsburgh like that. You're not, the Chiefs aren't feeling like they're going to get into a 14-17 game. They're going to feel like they're playing games and they're 34-28, and I don't know if Pittsburgh is really about that life like that.
So it was two
Russ,
things.
I
it
hope
was
you're
two
watching.
things
No,
that
he
you
had a
said.
great week
No,
last
no,
week,
no,
and
no,
I
no.
love Russell Wilson. I love that he's kind of
No,
revamped his.
Well, I'm
his
happy
brand.
that he's back.
It comes
little
down to
bit, yes.
exactly what Coach Baker said. Everyone knows the Chiefs can't blow a team out to save their lives. They could play Buena right now and win by 3. That's just what would happen. And he's exactly right that if Josh Allen has the ball with 2 minutes left, I fear it. If Lamar Jackson, despite all of his passing problems against the Chiefs, if he has the ball with 2 minutes left, he can get
You're
it done.
nervous.
Yeah, for sure. I don't think Russell Wilson can get it done if he's got the ball with 2 minutes left. That's just what I'm saying. I think Russell Wilson has played amazing football, but no one's asking him to be Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson.
No,
All he does is
they're
throw
going
goal
to play
balls.
Steeler football.
Throw-
and
it's
it's
not
working.
just-
Throw
Yeah.
goal balls to George Pickens and call it a day.
It's just not him. It's also the offense. I don't think the Pittsburgh offense is as intimidating as the Chiefs, the Bills, even the Ravens, like Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson with all the different things that he can do. Just scarier offenses. Now, that's from fans' viewpoint.
Yeah.
I'm sure in the Pittsburgh locker room, their offense feel like they can score with anybody.
I think that's because, again, the Buffalo and Baltimore can turn it into a track meet. I don't think Pittsburgh can turn it into a track meet. And so if you're asking me what defense is going to contain the Chiefs, it's going to be Steelers. Steelers have the best defense in football. But, again,
I feel like Patrick Mahomes will
with
figure it out.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think he'll figure it out against anybody.
Let's
But
go back 2 years when they traded
Josh
for
Allen
Minka
can go.
Fitzpatrick.
Josh
You're like,
Allen.
oh my God.
Josh Allen can go 14-0 on the Chiefs. They can go down and score. Chiefs are notorious for 3 and outs to start the game. To go back down and score. Lamar Jackson could go 14-0. And that's a scary proposition.
Yeah.
Quickly as well. We do have a comment before you get to the third question there, Dave. Isaac Garcia in the chat says, where do you all place the Cardinals in the standings? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
What a segue.
It's going to be tough.
What a
Go ahead.
segue to Dave's third
let's answer
question.
Let's get your question, then we can answer.
So what's more intriguing to you? The re-rise of Seattle or the sudden demise of Arizona?
There's no re-rise of Seattle.
We're on a 4-game winning streak. We're on a 4-game winning streak. We have a 2-game lead in the division. It's over.
So the Seattle Seahawks I'm happy for the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, you're one of my best friends. You are my best friend. I don't even want to say it like that. And so it's good to see that your team is actually having success so that you can stop hating on my team. I did say that if a team was going to go worst to first, it was going to be the Arizona Cardinals this year.
They had it.
It's still the best pick that I could have had.
They still could be in it, but
I think we say this all the time. Arizona's a week-to-week team, and they are just. I don't know if it's Kyler. I don't know if it's the team's not good enough around him yet. But Kyler Murray in his career is just, when he's got it going, he's got it going.
they're too inconsistent offensively.
Exactly. And that goes all the way back to your boy days, the coach, Cliff Kingsbury days, where when he had it on, he looked unstoppable. And when he's got it off, it looks like he's not even supposed to be on a football field.
You know what?
Are you talking about specifically Kyler or just the offense in general?
Just Kyler.
Yeah.
I think Kyler's got a lot of the big play syndrome that a lot of quarterbacks like. The reason we're talking about Josh Allen this year is he has the big play in him, but he doesn't try to do it all the time. And he's finally taking open things. And I don't think that's Kyler. I think Kyler always wants to be the reason.
He's I'm a
shout out
Kyler
James
fan.
Conner, by the way.
I'm a
We all are.
fan. I'm a Oklahoma Sooner guy. That's where I went to college, and so anybody that played for OU, I follow their career.
Shout out Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. We got Kyler Murray. We got Baker Mayfield
Baker.
in the league. But anyways, quarterback-wise, I've always liked him, and I do think he has some big play. Most quarterbacks that scramble around, that opens up that opportunity to make big plays. I think he maybe does it a bit more than he probably should, but I'm not a Cardinals fan, even though I like Kyler Murray. I'm not a Cardinals fan, so I hear other Cardinal fans complaining about Kyler, and I kind of see their point. So didn't know how you guys felt about it. Do you think Kyler is the problem?
No, I don't think he's the problem. I think he needs to be reined in.
I want to address that. You said you're not a Cardinals fan. I was at the game. I don't think they have any, Coach.
Oh,
it is depressing.
Well,
it is depressing by the third quarter. It is depressing.
Shout out to my man Isaac Garcia. He's on here right now. I think he's a Cardinals fan. That's why they're asking, hey, do we still have a chance to make the
saying they don't go to the games.
Every year, I've been going to the games since 2011. And every year it gets more and more depressing. By the third quarter, the Cardinal fans aren't even in the stadium anymore. It is so depressing. All you hear is Seahawks. That's all you hear. They've never beaten us.
Going to the Kyler Murray thing, when you're the person that touches the ball all the time, you're going to draw the ire, the criticism of everybody. Yeah. What makes it, what magnifies it for Kyler Murray is that he's also been paid a lot of money to do that. So if you're going to be paid a lot of money to do that, you're not going to have the team around you. So you have to be what they call on our favorite show a force multiplier. You have to make up for some deficiencies in your team. We do have a couple comments saying that Ryan Russell says he's too short. Amber Ramirez says he can't see past his own line. Isaac Garcia is saying that he's getting paid too much money for the Cardinals not to be in a better spot.
It's actually a pretty
Ryan
cap-friendly
Russell agrees with the coach. It is a cap.
I mean, considering every year,
it goes up and up and up, and it's only $40 million.
It's actually kind of cap friendly. I'm not gonna lie.
3 years ago, $40 million was like, what are they doing? Now it's like, well, this is not $60 million.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is making $40 million.
At least it's not Dak Prescott money.
Thank you. And I'm a Cowboys fan.
At least it ain't Dak money.
They think it's bad. I mean, I do see some of those problems. Kyler Murray being short. You hate to hate on somebody for their height.
Same thing about Russell.
But it is
an issue. In the middle of the field.
That's why he scrambles as much as he does, I think. So, I mean, it is an issue. But, and I don't know if I've seen a lot of, leadership personality stuff from Kyler Murray that I like. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you
He's
guys
a great game leader in
one.
Call of Duty. I played with him a couple times.
Oh, really?
But you're right, though. That's the one.
He seems kind of...
Everyone uses the Call of Duty joke. I was a former... player that got paid for playing Call of Duty.
Oh, really?
So before you can make any money on it, it is what it is.
But Kyler seems to be a little pouty, or maybe
the body language is a big tell.
Yeah. So I don't really like that.
That's
about
the
him,
knock on
but,
Kyler Murray.
And that's
right
one
there.
thing, you're sitting right here. We usually don't give compliments to people that are right there, but I say it all the time. Your demeanor, no matter what happens on the court, whether you agree with the call or not, you're still Coach Bateman. You're still coaching.
Yeah.
You're not losing your mind. You're not hanging your head or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think the players see that because you never see your players hang their head about a situation.
Right.
Real time, they're going to get mad, but they're over it really quickly.
Right. Next play.
Ryan Russell does say that it seems like he doesn't take accountability or
No,
take,
I see that too. That's what I think.
take
He
criticism well.
Finger points and not all the time. Maybe it's not as bad as that literally finger pointing, but it seems like he always, his demeanor is always it's somebody else's fault that this didn't work. And then I've heard that he doesn't watch film. Was that him that they were saying?
They had to write that into the contract.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. They had to write it into his contract where you were forced to watch film.
Yeah, that's a
not
crazy
a good
little
look.
story.
That's not a good look for a quarterback, that they have to put that in your contract.
Yeah. It got leaked though, so you got to remind yourself. Well, it was probably the team that leaked it. And, they wanted to send a message. So who knows how true it was or not.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, Dave. Those are great questions, especially the Cardinals one. Keep that in mind because that's when we have the most interactions in the show. That's going to do it for my time. I think it's time.
Before we do that, I'm trying to give away golf today. If you can tell me who has the highest point per game scoring average in college basketball history, you get 9 holes of golf at Sierra Vista Golf Center in Pueblo Del Sol. It's a very hard
Can I
question.
answer?
Do you know the answer?
No, you said it was
What do you
wrong.
got?
Lou Alcindor.
No, it's not. It's not correct. It's not correct. It's actually easier than
That's what he thought.
It's actually easier than
Will
you think.
Chamberlain?
It's not Will. Matter of fact, here's a hint for you. This person's all-time point total was just broken by Caitlin Clark last year.
Was it a girl?
No.
Oh.
But this person's all-time point total was actually broken by Caitlin Clark. It took her 45 more games to do it, but she actually beat this point total by this player last year. And he's the highest point per game of all time. I believe it's 43 a game in
Did he
college
play
basketball.
in the NBA?
Oh, he sure did. He's a Hall of Famer.
Really?
Yes.
Larry Bird.
No.
What school would it be?
LSU.
Shaq?
No, Shaq didn't even score.
That was dumb. I said that was dumb.
No,
dumb.
he went to LSU. At least he got that far right. He went to LSU.
Tried to stop myself before it came out.
LSU. No, that's actually probably the best guess because of LSU Hall of Famer. that
Yeah,
we know
there's only like
produced.
3 of them. Ben Simmons, Shaq, and this guy.
Ben Simmons, yeah. Exactly.
Well, Dave, just give us the answer. Well, after your diatribe,
I don't
give us
think
the
anybody
answer.
in the chat's going to get it unless they Google it.
The answer to
We
this
got
question.
we got 2 basketball guys right here, and we can't get the answer right.
The answer to this question is Mr. Pete Maravich.
Oh, I didn't know he went to LSU.
I didn't know he scored that much.
Yeah, he
you-
scored 49.7 a game with no
That's
3-point line.
All right,
With
folks.
no
Well,
3-point
you
line.
wasted enough
Getting
time.
triple teamed at half court. It's ridiculous.
Katie
He's best
McDonald
known
in the
for his
chat. Hey,
passing.
Katie
Right.
McDonald, if you can get the St. David coaching staff to get us the boys stats, that'd be great as well. But anyway, folks, we're going to get out of here. But before we do, he's Raven. That's what we call Dave, and it's time for Dave's diatribe. Dave, take it away.
I didn't know you went to Oklahoma, so you're going to like this.
Okay.
So, they have approved a 1-cent sales tax in the state of Oklahoma. They are going to build a new arena for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, it's David Maneka, a very famous architect. He's responsible for the Warrior Stadium, for the new Raiders Stadium. Yeah, he did work on the new Bears Stadium. He's going to be working on that, and the Titan Stadium. He's a very famous architect. They are going to build Soda Sopa in Oklahoma City. Okay, they're going to have
That's what happens. Everyone builds stadiums and
they're
things
all
around.
right, so they're gonna have this new stadium. They're gonna also build 4 towers around the stadium. 3 of them are gonna be 345 feet tall, and then they're gonna build the Legends Tower, which is gonna be 1,907 feet tall, making it the tallest skyscraper in the United States of America. Okay, they're gonna build all of this for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I've been to Oklahoma City. My question about this is why?
My hometown now.
Why? I've been to Oklahoma City. I found this fascinating. Like, if you go to a Thunder game and you go in, they have all the lights and all the music and all the things. And when you leave that game, what's waiting for you? Absolutely nothing. There is nothing in Oklahoma. Why are you building the world's tallest skyscraper in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma? What is the draw there outside of that 3-block radius? I've
I would
been
say
there.
there's 2 things I would say.
I've been there. There's nothing there.
You've been there recently?
20 years.
Ryan Russell says
Okay.
the tornado's going to take it down.
the downtown area where the Thunder currently play has been built up a lot. They call it Bricktown now.
Yes,
There's
the boardwalk at Bricktown. Yes.
Yeah, and it's actually pretty nice. Have you been to San Antonio and have the Riverwalk?
Yes.
They have that
I've been everywhere.
at Bricktown as well too. So it's not as big or long as the San Antonio one, but it's still a nice Riverwalk. Bricktown has been built up a lot. That's number one. So I think it's a lot more to do in that area downtown now than it was 20 years ago. And then two, if we're saying there's nothing there, then this is going to be there. Now they're changing that narrative. There is something there. Now it's going to be the talk. I didn't even know this.
I found it fascinating. I'm like, Oklahoma
and I'll
City.
say this about Oklahoma City too. Huge basketball fans. It's a small market. Now, Oklahoma City, to get the team, the Thunder, the story behind this is it was the New Orleans, they weren't the Pelicans at the time, they were New Orleans.
Seattle Super
Hornets.
Hornets.
They were the Hornets.
When Hurricane Katrina happened, their gym and their stadium was destroyed, so they temporarily made their home in Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
Yep.
And they saw all of the fans came out. I was one of them. We came out. So we were like, NBA basketball's in Oklahoma City. So we went out and
If you've
watched
been
it.
there.
The Hornets were not even good. They were terrible. They had Chris Paul was a rookie. So we were rooting for him. It was so crazy, the fan base, that as soon as everything got repaired and New Orleans left, they were like, we got to bring a team to this city.
So you stole my Sonics?
Oh, that's it. Okay, there it is. Thank you.
They were leaving. Seattle was like, we're selling to somebody, and this buyer was like, hey, Oklahoma City's the place. They're gonna love a team, because right now all they have are college basketball and football teams, and if you put
OU basketball's crazy. Okay, state basketball's crazy.
But it's college, so they were like, hey, they've already done the market research. They know that this would work here. And, the Thunder came, and it's been history ever since. And they sell out every single game. They love their team. And it's a big deal. So I could definitely see the need to, or the desire to invest in that team, get them a new stadium and all that. But that's pretty cool. I did not know
They're building
like
a
the
new
biggest
compound. Yeah,
that's
So,
well, we're selling
maybe that could be what draws a little more
So can I
people to
Oklahoma
Oklahoma City.
Can I answer with another? Because Coach said he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. Have you been to Dallas?
I have been to
There's
Dallas.
nothing outside the stadium in Dallas, Texas.
Well, not outside the stadium, but Dallas itself is huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge metropolitan area. It's like shopping. Like if your wife likes to shop, take her to Dallas, Texas.
I've been to Dallas.
It's crazy.
I was not happy. First of all,
You
and last of all,
parts of Dallas,
what is with the highway system in Dallas, Texas?
See, I'm
and
from
why,
Dallas too. That's where I live my adult life, is in Dallas.
why does the center of the highway turn into an exit? Why do you have 5 exits going in different? Anyway,
Because it's a huge city.
They call it the Mix Master.
that's going to do it for our coverage here, folks. Thank you, Coach Dennis Baker, for joining
Yes,
us.
sir.
For
Thank
sure.
you, Coach.
For sure.
Dave,
What, you want to shake my hand?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, I think we did miss the first part of the show where we had Synergy on, and they were talking about all the ways that you can get paid and get your services taken care of if you have a family member that struggles with activities of daily living. Again, 33rd ranked Synergy, and all of Synergy brand, fastest growing that there's ever been. All the great things that come with it. Synergy is a name you can trust, and if hopefully it came through. I don't think it came through because we had audio issues. Of course we did at the beginning of the show. But Dave, take it away.
Again, this is brought to you by Texas Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
We have Kids Night on Mondays. Mention that you watched this show, that you saw Coach Dennis Baker on this show today. We'll give you free fried pickles or potato skins coming to Texas Roadhouse. We're having fun every day. And again, we are at the Sierra Vista Golf Center at Pueblo Del Sol. They have the, what is the card called? The Vista card. They have a Vista card. They have specials. They have drink specials. They have food specials. They have first responder specials. It is gorgeous outside. It's Arizona. We don't have bad weather days. So get out here and do some golfing. Thank you, Coach Baker, for coming on the show. Go play the Colts. And we will see you folks at the tournament this weekend in Benson, Arizona.